I feel the need for speed.
When it comes to controversial affairs and relationships surrounded with rumors and secrets, inevitably the name Tom Cruise pops up. The 57-year-old Hollywood star is one of the most discussed persons in terms of love affairs, backstairs intrigues, and outrageous splitting stories, which some have labeled bizarre. The list of his ex-girlfriends and ex-wives includes not only famous actresses and singers such as Nicole Kidman, Penélope Cruz, Cher, and Sofia Vergara, but also the model Olga Kurylenko and the director Laura Prepon. Thomas Cruise Mapother IV was born in Syracuse, New York State, USA, but spent several years of his childhood living in Canada when his father was contracted by the Canadian Armed Forces. A simple reminder how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either iPhone Max, iPad mini, or MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. His family background was far from being perfect. His family was broken when he was a young boy, as his mother, Mary Lee Pfeiffer South, married Joseph South after divorcing Tom's biological father, Thomas Mapother III, with whom Tom's relationship was always full of fear and violence. Tom called his father a merchant of chaos and a coward, who only felt strong when he hid his children, Tom and his three sisters, Marion, Leanne, and Cass. Brought up as a Catholic, Tom attended several seminaries and all in all studied at 15 schools in 14 years, moving from one place to another too often to make many friends. He also suffered from dyslexia, so had a lot of trouble studying. These circumstances actually made Tom a shy person with a low level of self-esteem. The importance of the Church of Scientology in Tom Cruise's life is paramount, as it has influenced and even organized his relationships. Before extolling Scientology, Tom dated Diane Cox from 1979 to 1981, but nothing detailed is known. An aspiring actor, Tom dated actresses he met on the set of the movies and the series he worked on, including in 1982 Melissa Gilbert, Laura Ingalls in Little House on the Prairie, and Heather Locklear, Amanda Woodward in Melrose Place. His pre-Scientology period also included affairs with the actress Rebecca De Mornay from 1982 to 1985, and the singer Patti Scialfa in 1985. From 1985 to 86, he dated the singer and actress Cher, whom Tom met at the wedding ceremony of Madonna and Sean Penn. Cher, who is 15 years older than Cruise, was also a dyslexic, so they instantly had something in common. However, in 2018, Cher admitted that she didn't support the whole Scientology thing Tom does now, yet they are still friends. I can't understand it, Scientology, so I just don't. She shared in her interview with the Daily Mail. In 1986, the couple split, rumored to actually be because of Tom's growing interest in Scientology, but he stated that the study methods of Scientology helped him to overcome his dyslexia, which he had struggled with for so many years. In 1987, Tom married American actress Miriam Mimi Rogers, who was brought up by a devout Scientologist. In 1952, Mimi's father found the ideas described by L. Ron Hubbard in his books on Dianetics very interesting. He later became a mission holder in the Church of Scientology and was a close friend of the late founder of the church himself. Sources describe Mimi as a highly trained auditor who was involved in the life of the church from the first day of her life. That philosophy was simply part of my upbringing, Mimi recalls her former views after she quit Scientology. According to a former Inspector General named Marty Rathbun, Tom's relationship with Mimi Rogers ended due to disagreements over Scientology. He also added that the chief of the Church of Scientology International, David Miscavige, influenced the relationship between Tom and Mimi a lot, and could also have provoked their breakup. Mimi was previously married to another Scientologist, Jim Rogers. Mimi's father also quit the Church of Scientology in the 1980s, instilling the first seeds of doubt in the heart of his daughter. The great success of the movies Rain Man, in which Tom as Charlie Babbitt shared the screen with Dustin Hoffman, and Born on the 4th of July, in which Tom portrayed Vietnam War veteran Ron Kovic, who turned into a pro-human rights activist, made Tom Cruise one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. He donated millions of dollars to the Church of Scientology, supporting its supposed smooth working so that the leaders of the church understood they couldn't put his membership under risk, as happened with Mimi Rogers. However, continuing in the same vein, from the moment when Tom met Nicole Kidman in November 1989 during the filming of Days of Thunder, and while his acting career blossomed, as soon as they started dating, they were under the all-seeing eye of Scientology. Nicole and Tom married on 24th December 1990, and the Australian actress joined Scientology, but unlike Tom, was never really interested in developing as an auditor or a mission holder. Her father, an Australian psychologist by definition, was a suppressive person. Scientologists have this special name for people who deny or put under question the beliefs of the church. Scientology denies any form of psychiatry and forbids church members to take any psychotropic drugs. According to Bruce Hines, Nicole's former auditor, Kidman, a Catholic, was never considered safe, even though Scientology representatives later stated only that they opposed psychiatric abuses. Nicole and Tom adopted 2 kids, Isabella Jane, who was born in 1992, and Connor Anthony, born in 1995. The rumors about several miscarriages Nicole had during her relationship with Tom were clarified by Nicole herself in 2007, saying that she only had 1 pregnancy in 2001, which was ectopic, and was the year Cruz filed for divorce from her. Bella and Connor were both homeschooled and never attended any schools, as always happens in the families of Scientologists. John Brousseau, a former Scientologist and David Miscavige's brother-in-law and his long-term bodyguard, shared his memories of communicating with Cruz's kids, stating that they were later instructed to reject their mother. He remembered them saying to him, "JB, Nicole is an SP, a suppressive person. Our mom's an SP. We hate going and seeing her." Sources also state that Tom's next wife, Katie Holmes, was in terror to hear such words from Nicole and Tom's kids, as she suddenly understood that she could be in the same place as Nicole. Bella and Connor even undertook special courses in identifying suppressive persons to strengthen their negative attitude to Nicole. The marriage between Nicole and Tom started to crash after they starred in the movie Eyes Wide Shut in 1999. According to Nicole's interview with The Hollywood Reporter in 2012, even though the movie didn't initiate the divorce, it was during the dark times of their family. Director of the movie, Stanley Kubrick, died even before it was released. Tom and Nicole were on very good terms with him, and his death was a great shock to them. John Brousseau also shared that the whole world of Scientology was obliged to watch every single movie with Tom Cruise, but that watching a movie with Nicole could cause a lot of trouble. Tom and Nicole officially divorced in 2001. She is still struggling with seeing her kids as they live their own lives, not wanting to have anything in common with their mother. Nicole was saved by Baz Luhrmann's super successful musical movie Moulin Rouge to distract from the divorce. However, Nicole has had hard times talking about her divorce from Tom. During her interview with Oprah Winfrey, Nicole shared that she felt broken. "I think that divorce is hard for anyone. It's a nightmare, it just is. Though you can pretend you're fine," she said, hands trembling. Nicole also stated that she didn't want her kids to be raised as Scientologists. She added that their 2 kids were the most important things to them, and it was her job as a mother to protect them from any scrutiny they are going to get and in terms of what they are going to read. However, her kids didn't even need to read anything. They were consistently taught everything they needed to know, to feel, and to say about their mother. In 2001, Tom Cruise met Penélope Cruz on the set of Vanilla Sky, in which the stars portrayed lovers. Their affair started the same year, even though the most experienced auditors couldn't do anything with Penelope and her strong negative attitude to Scientology. Despite undergoing some basic courses on Scientology, Penelope refused to forsake her Buddhist beliefs. According to several on-the-record sources, the true story of the church's interference in Tom's private life. Having no kids connecting her with Tom and focused on her blossoming acting career after the success of her movies Fan Fan La Tulipe in 2002 and Gothica. The following year, Penelope broke up with Cruz with a light heart, not wanting to deal with Scientologists anymore. Marty Rathbun later stated that Tom's relationship with Penelope was one of the church's biggest slip-ups of all time, as during the whole period of Tom's affair with Cruz, Marty personally had to spend around 50% of his working time making sure Tom stayed in the Scientology camp. Eventually, the church initiated a secret plan to find a new girlfriend for Tom, who would be a devout Scientologist, or at least loyal to their beliefs and convertible in terms of religion. According to Rathbun, auditions for the role of Tom Cruise's new girlfriend continued, even when a seemed-to-be-perfect candidate was already found. Nazanin Bonaidi had a boyfriend at the time she was reached by the authorities of the church. The 25-year-old accomplished violinist and a graduate of the University of California at Irvine, Nazanin was interested in going to medical school, already having a BA in biological sciences. While Tom was broken-hearted after failing to entice such beautiful actresses as Sofia Vergara and Scarlett Johansson to be loyal to his beliefs, his auditors understood that they had to hurry up introducing Nazanin to Tom. Greg Wilhere, a high-ranking auditor for the church, met Nazanin in Hollywood to inform her that she was chosen for a very important and secret mission. As Nazanin was already an experienced Scientologist, she was enthusiastic about every task she was given to perform. To get rid of her braces, to color her hair in one shade, and to break up with her boyfriend, an Iranian she had actually brought into Scientology at the beginning of their relationship. A simple reminder how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either iPhone Max, iPad mini, or MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. At first, Nazanin was flattered to know that Tom Cruise was interested in her, but their relationship could hardly be called healthy. She was always instructed how to speak, how to behave, and even how to please Tom in bed. Eventually, she failed to follow the instructions during the ceremony of Tom's getting Scientology's Freedom Medal of Valor. When Tom held the medal, Nazanin whispered to him, "Very well done," her biggest mistake of all time. Tom was offended by her tone, feeling he was talked to as her junior. From that moment, Nazanin became persona non grata in the world of Scientology, and auditions for a more suitable girlfriend for Tom continued. In May 2005, Tom announced during his interview with Oprah Winfrey that he was in love. It is worth saying that a year earlier, the video of the ceremony of Tom's receiving the Medal of Valor went viral, as it depicted two men saluting each other first, then saluting L. Ron Hubbard's portrait. Scientology was made fun of because of that video, which grew even more when the popular animation series South Park released an episode entitled Trapped in the Closet, parodying Scientology, also making fun not only of Scientology itself, but also of Tom Cruise and actor John Travolta, who is also a well-known Scientologist. The leaders of the church understood that they had to be very careful not to create reasons for attracting extra attention to Scientology. However, everything happening in Tom's so-called private life was of huge interest to reporters all around the world, and they couldn't but remember and comment on his religious beliefs. Katie Holmes was introduced to Tom in May 2005, and only a month and a half later became pregnant with their daughter. Tom was said to have bought his own ultrasound machine to follow the pregnancy of his wife, who he officially married in 2006 in Italy, holding the ceremony at Odescalchi Castle. The acting career Katie had pursued before dating Tom slowed down. She stopped communicating with her old friends, as Tom's circle was very attentive to the people she could talk to. However, there was one person they couldn't take away from Katie, her father, Martin Holmes. He was aware of what was going on in the church, and an experienced lawyer had prepared a prenuptial agreement for Katie and Tom to sign, so that Katie could escape at any minute she felt uncomfortable. The agreement was set to fill 5 bankers' boxes. Suri Cruz was born in April 2006 in absolute silence, as Tom and Katie followed the rules of silent birth, a practice of the Church of Scientology, plus making all physical movements slow and understandable, not to cause additional pain or stress the newborn undergoes during the birthing process. Suri was not allowed to go to school, just as her elder half-siblings Bella and Connor. Katie couldn't deal with the Scientology point of view, in which normal education was minimized. The belief is that every person lived for millions of years, underwent reincarnation, and already knew everything one could ever need for a good life. Katie also stated to one of the reporters of Vanity Fair that their family didn't go outside too much. In 2012, Katie shocked Tom as well as the leaders of the church by filing for divorce, which is not in the rules of Scientologists. Their divorces happen inside the church, as its members can't sue one another. However, Katie not only filed for divorce, but also asked for primary custody over Suri, trying to take her out of her father's religious agenda. Katie's desire to enroll Suri in one of California's private schools left no chance for Suri to return to Scientology if she once chose this path, as she would be automatically abandoned by the church, exactly what Katie wanted. As a privileged person, Tom has the right to communicate with Katie and Suri, unlike other family members who divorced and quit Scientology. Such contacts are forbidden, according to Scientology doctrine. As of 2020, Suri lives with her mother and enjoys their mutual, if rare, walks in New York, as they follow the current rules of self-isolation during the pandemic of COVID-19. However, they were caught by reporters having their weekend smoothies in the streets of the Big Apple. I love Suri so much. My biggest goal has always been to nurture her into her individuality, to make sure she is 100% herself and strong, confident, and able, Katie shared in her interview with The Sun in June 2020. Since Tom divorced Katie, or to be more precise, since Katie divorced from him in 2012, Tom hasn't been noticed dating other women for too long. He is said to have had short affairs with Cynthia Jorge and Yolanda Pecoraro in 2012. Tom met Cynthia, a waitress at the trendy club Le Baron, in December 2012, and they apparently instantly felt the chemistry between them and even had some dirty dancing the very day they met. He was mesmerized by Cynthia, says one of the witnesses of their meeting. However, the head doorman of the club denied any dirty dancing took place, stating that if Tom Cruise was in the club, the doorman would surely notice him. Nevertheless, what is known about Cynthia is that she graduated Boston University in 2008 and worked as a marketing director at Benjamin's Steakhouse. Tom's other affair was registered by several tabloids that the actress Yolanda Pecoraro was his new love interest. The Daily Mail UK wrote that Yolanda, as well as her parents, were devout Scientologists. Some sources even suggest that Tom was going to marry for the fourth time, as Yolanda could be a perfect match for him, but it never happened. So, as of mid-2020, Tom Cruise is still officially single, although one wonders, for how long? Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.